On the agenda today is my 1980 Ford Fairmont with an LS swap. What we're going to be doing today is this fuel pressure regulator right here. I don't like the placement of where it's at, being that it's right over an exhaust manifold. So I built a shield to go between these coil packs, lift this up, and it goes down there, and between the manifold, which in case I get any type of fuel leak, it's not just a direct spray right on the manifold. What we're also doing is down here, you can see my transmission cooler lines that run up to the front. Those are a little close to that manifold for my liking, so we're going to pull those off and wrap them with some sort of heat insulation tape or something of that nature. This is the bracket that I made out of an old speed limit sign. And then we've got a couple of different types of exhaust wrap. We're going to try to figure out what we're going to do with those lines. We'll use something like that. These right here are some spacers. I need them to mount this guy on there. So enough yakking, and let's get to it. I know there are AN line wrenches for this, but I just kind of refuse to pay that much for them. So I do it this way. I don't really care about how pretty the fittings are, just as long as they're functional. Now there are these two feed lines, this one here, and then there's one right there, that are also pretty close to the manifold. So I'll be wrapping them up or doing something with them as well. This is what I did for the return line. I put some of these spark plug boot deals over them. But as you can see inside, it's very furry. It's got a bunch of fiberglass that would potentially get down into that line and then cause some issues. So I just packed that full of paper towel and then slid these over the line. How I got them to stay is down in there. See that zip tie? That's down past where all the heat is. So I just lined them up and they sit on that zip tie and don't move, and it helps protect the hose. Now all I'll need to do is get some inch-long bolts and run them down into the valve cover where the coil bracket is, or an inch longer than the bolts that I have in here. And I'll just run them down where the factory valve cover or coil pack bolts are. I will have to make a little notch back here. I'll figure that out where it needs to go so I can check the transmission fluid with this in place. If you look down in here, all my lines are nice and secure, away from as much heat as possible. It's got the factory shield on it, some shielding on the lines, and then this aluminum shield that I made. Come down here underneath the car. You can kind of see all the shielding. I need to do something with that pan. Anybody got a F-body style pan they want to sell me? See if we can figure out where that mark needs to be for the transmission dipstick. Mark it out. Where is that thing? Roughly something like that. Big enough to where I can still get my big old mitts down in there. All I'm going to do here is drill a hole in this corner and a hole in this corner, so I can stick the air saw in there and go straight lines without having to make a U, which if you've ever used an air saw, it doesn't make a right angle cut very well. Out there. Don't mind the old liquor table here. We had a little bit of a get together. Other than that, not exactly the straightest, but it's close enough. There we go. Done with that project. We're all done with that. Nice little Gold Start E85 for you. It is about 35 degrees or so outside.